Good morning class. In this video we will continue the chapter reading. So open page number 15. Now let's start the reading. This is the part B of this chapter. First of all you have to consider part A and then at the same time you have to consider part B. Okay? Now let's start our reading. To save the child from such repeated humiliation, I one day suggested something to the Bhandaris which the parents after some trepidation agreed to try. We decided to have bits of paper typed and to hand over one of these chits, dully sealed in cover, to every new visitor as soon as he entered the guest house. The next of the chit ran, "Our daughter is deaf and dumb. You may hurt her by trying to be friendly too soon, as she can neither understand nor reply to your kind words. You are requested to please give her time to approach you and make you acquaintance. Thank you." Now come to the next page. Page number 15. The rush worked well, even beyond our expectations. Though a few sympathetic questions were still put to the parents, the poor child was spared. Later, the girl herself slowly became the intimate with many of the guests. The Bhandaris felt relieved and thought that at least one of their problem was temporarily solved. But they had a strange visitor one day. It was late in the afternoon and I was talking to the landlord about some packed lunch that I needed the next day. I was planning a short excursion for myself to a group of caves nearby. The landlord was in a hurry, arranging things for a new guest who had booked a room for the season and was supposed to be moving in any moment. Arriving by the mail train, and sure enough, soon a young man came in, a porter carrying his luggage. He was barely 25, clad in an ill-fitting tweed suit with drooping shoulders and wide trouser bottom. Because of the journey, he looked untidy, his hair, his necktie, his shoe all unkempt and needing attention. But he had a cheerful face and jet black eye sparkling with untidy. Mr. Bhandari stepped forward and asked, "Mr. David, I presume?" The young man looked closely at his face, smiled and nodded. "Room number 18, please. Everything is ready." The young man again looked at him, smiled and nodded. He paid the porter, who bowed low, for he was not asked to return the change, and disappeared. The young man gave me a brief, friendly look and sat before a huge book which the landlord had pushed before him, making the necessary entries about himself and his intended stay. At his time, he discovered the sealed envelope containing the typed chit lying on the table, addressed to him by name. He took the cover and tore it open. This coincided with the entry of the landlady into the room. She hurriedly asked her husband If this was the new guest and having receiving confirmation came forward and shook hands with the young man. Would you like to have a hot bath immediately or tea first? The young man pursued his lips and shrugged his shoulders, obviously implying that one would be as good as the other and that he had no preferences. Now come to the next page, page number 17. Both the lady and the landlady were by now slightly disconcerted by what they inferred to be their guest's pride and arrogance, since he had not even deemed to reply adequately to their polite inquiries. The young man, meanwhile, took out the typed check and started reading it. As soon as he had gone through it, he looked around astonished. The little girl, Pramodini, was playing in the courtyard at the moment. We could see her sitting near the flower beds. The young man looked at all of us with a smile and darted out towards her. Now this is very strange, Mrs. Bhandari cried out in protest. How rude he is. He shouldn't have ignored our request like this, landlord put in more mildly. After a few moments, we all walked out of the veranda, and I was apprehensive of that impending look of anguish on the faces of the parents and child. The scene that confronted us was something we least expected. The strange young man was reclining on the grassy ground and Pramodini was sitting on his lap. He was showing her the flowers and suddenly, like the sound of the gun exploding, the shrill animal like laughter of Pramodini pierced the air. The parents looked at each other with wonder and amazement. Our daughter has not laughed like this for years, Mrs. Bhandari said. Curious, we watched the two of them who were now walking towards us hand in hand. Pramodini ran to her mother and danced about her with joy. She made her queer sounds of ma and widely pointed to the young man. It was Mr. David who came to our rescue. We soon realized that he was deaf and dumb too. His strange, ambiguous silences, his sudden rush for the girl on reading the note all became instantly clear to us. This took us time to digest the news, and then both parents broke into incoherent statements of profuse apologies that they had not noticed it earlier. Imagining the type of man they were talking to, they spoke in half sentences and tried to convey the rest through gestures. He gracefully acknowledges their warmth and either nodded or shook his head in reply. For more complicated and lengthy answers, he used pen and paper. The next day, Mrs. Bhandari was full of news. She talked as she had never talked before. She mentioned the stranger and the plans for the betterment of Pramodini he had outlined to her and her husband. There were schools, such people, he told them, though they were beyond most people's means. He had himself been educated in one of such institutions abroad, and now returned to India to render the same useful service to others. By starting a school there, she almost broke down with gratitude when she said that he had agreed to accept Pramodni as his first pupil. Mrs. Bhandari laughed like a carefree girl. She gave us an extra helping of jam and butter and honey at the table. She looked the happiest woman in the world. This story is written by Chaman Nahal. So you have to read this story once again by yourself. In the next video, we'll explain this chapter. Till then, thank you class and have a nice day. This is the part B. Okay? ठीक है. Thank you class and have a nice day. Goodbye.